Hello friends, my name is Nick and today we're going to do an unboxing from Planthaven, Toronto. This is a first for my channel. One, of course, receiving plants from Planthaven, Toronto, but two, receiving plants from outside the United States for an unboxing video, where of course the plant market's going to be a little different, and that will allow us to broaden our horizons some. So obviously I'm super excited to get inside this box today, but even more so because I personally know the owners of this company. I feel like I've mentioned James and Autumn a couple times in the past because a couple of my plants I have in my home I've received in trades from them, but they've been running their company Planthaven Toronto, shipping throughout Canada for the last couple of years, but they just recently are dipping their toes into shipping in the United States, which makes me very excited for James and Autumn, but equally as excited for us as people of the United States for having access to their incredible selection of plants. So let's go ahead and get inside this box here. They don't ship from Canada, they ship from Buffalo, New York, just for reference, a little nitty gritty. And you can use code NICK15 to save 15% on your purchase. A couple other things before we get too deep into this. They ship USPS. It takes about 1 to 3 days depending on where you're located for it to be delivered. They have a 48-hour satisfaction guarantee, which is amazing. They'll ship anywhere throughout the United States and Canada. And if it's a colder month, they will, for free, add some insulated packaging and heat packs for you. So none of that you have to worry about. So I have no idea what's going to be in here today. It's going to be a blind unboxing. So we have some packing paper, as you can see. And let's start to remove it. Oh, they are labeled on the outside so we can see. But I'm going to tell you them after I open them just to keep a little bit of the surprise element going. So it's wrapped up in some packing paper. Open it up, there's some fluff, keeping our plant nice and safe. It's a Hoya. So what's this Hoya called? This is a Hoya oh gosh, you guys are gonna have to bear with me on these pronunciations today. Hoya Williniana VT152. And they left a note on here that says, "The sun stresses beautifully," which I am totally getting that vibe from that little bit of red already on the leaves. So this is taped in here with a paper towel over top of some Stagnum Moss to keep it moist, it looks like. Everything is intact, which is great because this obviously had a long journey. There's some new leaves coming in. It's got some beautiful little speckles. Of course, I will give you guys a close-up of every houseplant since you're always a little far away from me for these unboxing videos. But it looks like just one plant, but it's got maybe two plants, but it's got two vines on it. So a very, very healthy, vigorous growing plant, which I'm very excited about. Some aerial roots. So this thing is ready to go. I've never heard of this Hoya before. I'm probably not going to have heard of a lot of these houseplants that we're talking about today. Oh gosh, there's a lot in here. Let's move the thinking, should we keep the box on? Let's move the box. We're gonna need a little bit more room because there's a lot of plants and I really would like you guys to get to see them all together. It's another Hoya. I have a gut feeling we're gonna have a lot of Hoyas in here because I know James and Autumn love Hoyas and that's a lot of what they collect and also what they sell on their website, as well as many other houseplants, but a lot of the plants that we've done in the past have been Hoyas. So that's just why I'm having this hunch. Once again, we have some nice fluff, keeping our plants safe. Oh my goodness. We are in for a treat today, my friends. So this one is a Hoya passiflora. Of course, I'm gonna leave the name on screen because I cannot promise the pronunciation today. This is giving me like a Dischitia acuminata meets like a Hoya Williniana vibe. I've never heard of this. We're 2 for 2 today because I've never heard of either of these Hoyas. But oh my goodness, this is so funky. The leaves have like this slight wrinkling to them. That is really something. It's got a tiny little bit of splash to it too, but it's totally giving that more Dischitia leaf or a Ceropegia than a Hoya. That is just so neat. I think we're really gonna be expanding our Hoya collection today. I might need to get a couple planters. So there's 8 plants left. We did 2 already, so we have a 10 plant unboxing today. That is a very decent unboxing. Very gracious of Autumn and James. We got a little one in here. It's so fun. I've been really starting to have a soft spot for these plants that are like the more dead looking. I think that's the nice way to put it. This is a Euphorbia platyclada. So it literally just kind of looks like these like flat brown sticks with this like fun variegation to it. And it's just a conversation piece houseplant. These have been a little bit hard to find at times. This was a Euphorbia that I never was able to get in stock at the houseplant store. So a really, really cool find, but I just love this like dead stick aesthetic, and I feel like it's going to have a moment soon. I feel like people have been getting a little bit more into it from what I've seen, but this is absolutely one that fits right into that category. Wow, I don't grow any euphorbia like this. I feel like the only euphorbia I've grown in my home have been more along like the crown of thorns aesthetic, or the cactusy looking ones, if that rings a bell at all. The ones that you wouldn't even think are euphorbia, but they are. But this is just much more of like a collector species in comparison to those ones. So definitely one that's going to prefer some bright light. So good thing we have some bright light here in our home. This one is another Hoya. I also do not think I have heard of this one, but it's adorable. Actually, this looks a little familiar. It looks very similar to a Hoya I grew in the past, but it also looks different. The leaves look a little bit thicker, so many Hoyas look so similar. This one is called Hoya Chinhangentis. It's a long one. All Hoya names are ridiculous. I mean, all plant names in general are ridiculous, and I just love the ridiculous ones even more. So, Hoya Chinhangentis. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is adorable. It looks like there's 2 cuttings in here, unless nope, it's just a very fertile plant who has 2 actively growing stems, which means that this has been very happy growing to its fullest potential. Once again, covered up with the damp paper towel, keeping the Stagnum Moss moist. The Hoyas so far have been potted up with Stagnum Moss. The Euphorbia is with some soil. I'm sure coming from another country that there is some phytosanitary certification involved, so it's probably a lot easier for some of these plants to be brought over in moss. That's just an assumption I am making, but I've also had a lot more success growing some of my Hoyas in moss, so I kind of prefer that. On to our 5th plant. So this is about the halfway point. We have some more fluff. Oh my goodness. This is so precious. Oh my goodness. I feel like I have to be quiet around it. It's just picking off the fuzz. This is such a, oh my goodness. It's so red and fuzzy, and it's got this like, I don't want to call it metallicness, but it's just like so vibrant. All right, let me raise my voice to a level, normal level. This is Begonia Autumn Ember, and that is a very fitting name. Do you see this? Let's remove this. Looks like a little bit of the soil came loose, but that's no problem. Obviously, this plant has had a long journey, and now that he's home, he doesn't have to get worried about being tossed around in the mail at all. It's pretty small, but it's 2 plants, and I've had some pretty good luck with begonias, particularly if I put them inside glass enclosures. So this one I'll probably just throw it inside a little glass canister or put a glass dome on top of it, and it will practically take care of itself as long as it's in a good enough light setting. But begonias handle lower light settings pretty well, but a grow light and a glass cloche, and this thing is going to be a gorgeous specimen down the line. Wow, I don't really have any like harsh red begonias like this, but this one's just really hitting me. I've also just had like a real soft spot for begonias lately, so I'm always welcoming new begonias into my home, but that one just kind of hits a little different. All right, we are officially halfway through. Let's see what else we got. And the unveiling. It's so pretty. It's so vibrant and metallic. And first of all, I am a sucker for just a nice plain shaped leaf. #1 fan. This is a philodendron tenue. I don't know, but I love the name and I love it. Oh my gosh. This one is also inside Stagnum Moss. and he's going to live there until I move, probably, because this tiny little pot is just so easy to move it in. But oh my, do you see it? It's so cute. It's such good quality. This new leaf is to die for. I mean, they're all to die for. I'm like tearing up. It's just the cutest little thing ever. I've never seen, I'm gonna have to figure out, like, obviously it's pretty young and philodendron's leaves can change shape drastically over time, but I really hope it just, oh, I love this leaf shape. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, literally about to shed a tear. This is so cute. I think, oh no, Begonia, this thing pops up a little bit more. I don't know. I want you guys to be able to see everything. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay, let's bring the excitement down and save it for possibly the next one, because at the rate that things are going, Autumn and James are kind of hitting it out of the park right now. This one looks like it might be another philodendron from the name. What are they doing to me? My heart. Oh my God, I wasn't prepared for this. This one is called Philodendron Fibrosum. And maybe I've just been out of the industry for 2 years too long, but I also have not heard of this philodendron. But same with the Tinyu. I'm like, where have you been all my life? I love it. There's always the option, like I was saying, that maybe this just isn't a philodendron that's available. I've noticed that I've been following James and Autumn on their Instagram, Planthaven Toronto, for a while now, and I always notice that the plants that they have available on there are not ones that I can find in the United States, but in Canada, apparently they're in full force. So we are lucky here in the United States to be able to have access to this stuff now. I'm so excited about that. Also inside this Stagnum Moss, this one's in a little bit of a larger pot, so perhaps has a little bit more robust of a root system, which is always invited. Has 3 leaves on it. There's a leaf sheath coming off here in the center with a new leaf coming in to grow, but oh my goodness. So we have how many more? 3 more plants. Just making sure I counted correctly beforehand when I said there was 10. And with this being the first unboxing video with a company that ships from outside the United States, that means it's also, as I mentioned, accessible in Canada, which I just think is awesome, because normally when I do my unboxing videos on here, it's only places that ship in the United States only. So I'm happy to be expanding my horizons in many ways today. I'm not positive what this one is either. Okay, it's a Dischitia. I saw D, and that could be anything. This is a Discideia Tonsuensis. Obsessed with these names. These leaves are really fun looking. I'm assuming it's a Dischitia. I don't know what else it would be. This has these really like thin leaves. It has like an outline to it too. They're kind of like cupping upwards. Concave, is that the word I'm looking for? But they're like really thick, but thin at the same time. Like they're really thick, waxy, leathery leaves, but they're super thin. That's cool. Also, another one that I've never heard of today. We're really expanding our plant vocabulary today. That is really cool though. Oh gosh, I just thought in my mind, if I had to pick a favorite so far, but that's asking a lot from me. All right, here's our 9th plant. And of course, it's a Hoya that I've never heard of before, so we don't even have any idea what this could possibly look like, other than Hoya-ish. Looks like it's got some bigger leaves. Oh my God. How have I not heard of this one? This one's called Hoya Cv. Does that mean cultivar? I should know that. Anne. Love the name. It's Anne. Oh. Who? Arrested Development. Anyway, I am kind of speechless. This is like kind of reminding me of a Hoya Calistophylla, but I'm now confused why this one's not more popular than Hoya Calistophylla, because this is the clear winner to me for so many reasons. One, the leaves are a little bit larger, they're a little bit smoother, they're a little bit thinner, which is always more fun for me when it comes to Hoyas for some reason. I don't know why. And the venation, it's like also thinner. Do you see? I'm gonna go grab my Hoya Crystal so you can see the difference. So this is my Hoya Crystal. It has these thicker leaves, a little bit smaller. This one's got these larger leaves. Do you see what I mean? Love this still. Not knocking this whatsoever. This is a 9 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 right here. So no complaints from me. But wow, it's so fun how like similar they look, but also how completely different they look at the same time. I'm obsessed. So this was number 9. So there's one last plant left. However, I do recognize the name on this one, and it is a good one, a very good one. And that is enticing me to post another unboxing video over on TikTok or Instagram. If you don't have TikTok, you can watch on Instagram. So I'm forcing you guys to head on over to my TikTok/Instagram to watch the unboxing for this final plant. I was about to spill half of what it is, but this plant right here, this mystery plant that's in the largest wrapping of them all, you're gonna have to go over to my TikTok to watch it. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you, Autumn and James, for sending me all of these houseplants today. There were some really amazing houseplants. I literally cannot pick a favorite. Just to run through them all again, we have this Euphorbia platyclata right here. We have this Hoya Chinhangentis. We have this Dischidia Tonsuensis. This is really pushing me right now. This Hoya Cv and who? This Philodendron Fibrosum. This Philodendron Fibrosum. We have this Begonia Autumn Sunset. I already forget the name of this one. Ember, you remember. This Hoya Passiflora. And finally, this Hoya Williniana VT152. This one kind of sounds like a robot name, but I am very obsessed with all of these. I literally cannot pick a favorite. They are just so incredible. I will, of course, leave the link to Planthaven Toronto in the description below. I will also put it on screen for you right now to see, just in case you need some extra assistance. And that'll do it. I will see you guys over in this other unboxing video on my other social media platforms. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't already, follow me on Patreon for even more houseplant content. I've said it already, but follow me over on Instagram and TikTok at phillyfoliage. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great time.